Our first piece of music today, Carol of the Bells.
Sweet silver bells all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to every home, to every ding dong, ding dong, that is our song. Ding dong, caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they sound, raising the sound, o'er hill and dale, telling their tale. Gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Oh, lovely scent of with content, dear joyful tone to every home. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, ding dong, that is their song. With joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound, o'er hill and dale, telling their tale. Gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Oh, lovely sight, all with content, their joyful tone to every home. Oh, they stand all content, their joyful tune to every home. Ding dong, ding dong.
They're amazing. Just these couple people fill the whole place. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our spiritual home, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tarpon Springs. So good to see so many new faces. My name is Barbara Rosen, and I'm serving as your worship associate today. I use she, her pronouns, and am a white, older woman with white hair, green eyes, and clothing that's embroidered today, black and white. We want to acknowledge that here at the church, we are on the lands of the Tocobaga and Seminole peoples. We are a church of many welcomes, and we offer a warm welcome to all of you. This is a liberal community for all ages, promoting spiritual growth, social justice, and the arts. To learn more about our events, our church calendar's on our website, uutarpon.org, or we'd be happy to talk with you during the coffee hour. For those present with us in the building, we have connection cards available in the pews near the hymnals. If you'd like to fill one out, we'll be able to keep in touch with you. And you can also just send us an email at membership@uutarpon.org to get connected. There are also small cards to write any joys or concerns you would like to share with us if you prefer it in writing. Reverend Kristina Spaude will lead our service today, and Bonnie and this wonderful choir will bring us the music. And the next piece would be O Holy Night.
Thank you.
Remember, nothing at the end,
In holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth.
Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. On your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night, oh, night divine.
I am the Reverend Kristina Spaude. I use she, her pronouns, and am a white woman. I am tall with shoulder-length curly brown hair, parted on one side, and blue eyes. Our opening words this morning come from Quinn G. Caldwell. This is "Every Moment is One." One of my favorite things about all the rituals and traditions attached to this time of year is the way they mess with time. My husband and son and I decorate our Christmas tree, and as we hang each ornament, the ones we brought from our parents' houses and the ones that we got together, we tell their stories. As we do, we find that we are not just standing in the living room we share, but we are also standing in footed pajamas in the living rooms we grew up in, decorating every tree we've ever decorated right in that moment. We gather on Christmas Eve with the lights down and the candles lit, and we sing Silent Night. And as we do, it's like we're singing it at every Christmas Eve service we've ever been to. It's like we're singing it at every Christmas Eve service yet to come. It's like by our song, we're calling the birth of God into existence again. It's not nostalgia. It's not just a hazy remembrance of the time back when things used to be better than they are now. It's more than that. It's a collapsing of time, a drawing in of the past and future into one long now. Theologians would say that we're moving out of ordinary time, or what they call chronos, and catching a glimpse of God's time, or what they call kairos. In chronos, minute follows minute, and you can only go forward. And that's where we live most of the time. But for God, in kairos, every moment is one. And your first Christmas, and your last Christmas, this Christmas, and the redemption of the whole world are all happening right now, forever. It's one of the reasons people love this time of year so much, that quality it has that for many people, more than other times of the year, it lets us glimpse the world the way that God sees it. So what things or traditions do that for you? What brings you back to your childhood at warp speed? Whatever it is, you should plan to do it soon.
We light our chalice with these words from Linda Hart. We kindle a small flame in the dark of the year, remembering the promise of abundant life, of a possible peace. We pause on this night of mystery to tell stories, to sing songs, to bring more light into the world. And the next piece of music, Jingle Bells.
Please feel free to sing along.
Sing along.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Now the ground is white, go it while you're young. Take the girls tonight and sing this sleighing song. Just get a bobtail bay, 240 as his speed. Hitch him to an open sleigh and cracking you take the lead. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Our story this morning is Home by Another Way, written by Barbara Brown Taylor, who is an Episcopal priest, an author, and academic, and illustrated by Melanie Catalado, which I have edited down some. Once upon a time, there were 3 very wise men who were all sitting in their own countries, minding their own business, when a bright star lodged in the right eye of each one of them. The star was so bright that none of them could tell whether it was burning in the sky or in their own imaginations, but they were wise enough to know that it did not matter all that much. Each in his own country had tried books, had tried magic, had tried astrology, and despite their best efforts, all 3 of them still felt that something was missing. They were all glad for a reason to get out of town, which was clearly where the star was calling them, out, away from everything they knew. And so they each set out. And they all ran into one another on the road to Jerusalem. From a distance, they each thought the other to be a mirage at first, a twinkling reflection made of vapor and heat. But as they drew near to one another, they saw the star that they had in common, something that made them brothers before they spoke. They all believed that the star was leading them to Jerusalem. This made perfect sense because they had every reason to believe that they were on their way to meet a king. They had no trouble gaining entrance to the palace. They looked rich, and that was enough to get them a royal audience. But the king they met was something of a disappointment. He was lumpy and rumpled. His skin looked a funny color and sickly. And the guards on either side of him shook in fear of their king, so much so that their spears rattled against their shields. Without even comparing notes, the wise men knew that this was not the person that they were looking for. Do you know of any other kings in the general area? They asked him. He had been picking at his fingernails until then, letting them know how bored he was, but their question got his attention. He looked right at them for the first time, and he saw the star in each of their eyes. The king asked the wise men if they would please excuse him for just a moment. Then he stepped into his private chapel to confer with his clergy. They whipped out their old reference books that smelled of mold and told the king what he wanted to know. Yes, they said, there was something in the book of Micah about a new ruler for Israel, but nothing to get excited about. It was short, and it had been there for a long time. It was unlikely that the men in the other room were fulfilling that prophecy. But sure, why not? Send the wise men to Bethlehem to check it out. And so that is what the king did. He cleaned himself up and went back to tell the wise men that they should go to Bethlehem at once, with his blessing, on one condition: that they come back and tell him who his successor was so that he could send flowers to the new king. The wise men knew that something was not right, but once they were back out in the night air, they could see the star in the sky again, and they set their minds at rest. They followed that star right to the doorway of a one-room house in Bethlehem. It was a perfectly nice place, modest but well-built, though not the kind of place where they would have expected to find a king. A dog was sniffing the woodpile, and someone was practicing the lute next door. Must be near my apartment. The smell of dinner was even still in the air, the wheat cakes cooked in a griddle greased with sheep's fat and lentils with lots of garlic and rice. The place looked so simple they might never have chosen it themselves. But since the star had chosen it for them, they knocked. And when the door opened, the couple standing behind it almost died of fright. Not that the wise men noticed. Their arms full of gifts, they crowded into the small space, bumping their turbans on the rafters and snagging their robes on the rough furniture. All they could see was the baby, who was not afraid, and whose right eye shone with the same star that they had seen before they had left home. It was him, then, whoever he was. They did not have a clue, but they knew what to do. They got on their knees and they bowed their heads. Then they gave him the things they had brought for him: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. All the wrong things they could see now, the things that he had no use for. They should have brought him goat's milk and a warm blanket, something shiny to hang above his crib. But how could they have guessed? The child's parents were gracious. They thanked the strangers for their expensive gifts and held them up for the baby to see. And then, to their surprise, the child's mother picked him up and handed him around so that each of them could hold that damp, soft, living weight in their arms. When they were finished admiring him, if such a thing were possible, she took her baby back, nursed him, and put him to bed. Then, before the light coming through the window of the house had entirely gone out, the three wise men fell asleep right where they sat. In the morning, when they woke, the wise men could not find their stars anywhere. They searched each other's eyes, but the stars were gone. Frantically, they looked in all the corners. The baby's mother even shook out the blankets, but still no stars. Soon the wise men calmed down and said, "Never mind, we do not need them anymore." They had found what they were looking for, something that they could not lose. As much as they hated to, they added, they had better be on their way. They would not be going back through Jerusalem, they said. All three of them had woken from the same identical dream, warning them to steer clear of the city. Besides, none of the wise men's old maps worked anymore. They would have to find a new way home. So the wise men picked up their packs, which were lighter than before. Then they lined up in front of the baby to thank him for the gifts that he had given them. "What in the world are you talking about?" the baby's mother said, laughing. "For the scent and weight and skin of a baby," said one. "For this home and the love here," said the second. "For a really great story," said the third. And then the wise men walked outside, stretched, kissed the baby goodbye, and went home by another way. We will sing "Angels We Have Heard on High" as we sing Children Who Would Like to out to their programming with Anna Hees this morning. And as we do, I will light this candle for the love of this community.
Number 231.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo, Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why these songs of happy cheer? What great brightness did you see? What glad tidings did you hear? Gloria in excelsis Deo, Gloria in excelsis Deo. See him in the manger laid, whom the angels praise above. Mary, Joseph, lend your aid, while we raise our hearts in love. Gloria in excelsis Deo, Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Now is the time in the service when we take our offering for the work and welfare of this church. This month, the Social Justice Council is asking for donations for the MLK Scholarship Fund. For those at the church, there are plain envelopes in the pews to use to donate cash, and you can write your name on the envelope if you'd like. For those at home, please go to our website, uutarpon.org, click the Donate button, and select Social Justice Give the Plate. The offering will now be given and received. In our next music, O Come All Ye Faithful.
We will now hold a brief moment of silence to let you settle into yourselves and your seats. You might take a few deep breaths deep into your belly if that is comfortable for you. Our first reading today comes from Teresa Schwartz. This is the invitation. We know the story. An angel of the Lord appeared to the shepherds. The glory of the Lord shone around them. A great light descends on dark fields. Happy angels and cherubim sing for joy, play their lutes, and dance about to defy the gravity of earthly cares. In our happy Christmas narratives, we can forget that the shepherds were afraid. What is this fear of God? In my Sunday school lessons, God was a warm and fuzzy old man, replete with gray beard. Jesus loved me, for the Bible told me so, and I glued cotton balls on stiff construction paper to make sheep for the Good Shepherd. As a small child, I secretly opened the Bible and I read. It didn't take long to find that God and fear mingled together in the same lines. I didn't understand, but I knew it wasn't about the fluffy lambs and the grandfatherly gods. In the Hebrew scriptures, the fear of God is an active obedience to the divine will. But I think it is also a shaking of the body and soul, awe at something wholly other. Something catches and my heartbeat quickens, and I shake even a little at the thought of those strange glimpses that brought me to my knees. The numinous is a mystery that terrifies and fascinates. We are tempted to reduce the whole of the Christmas story to a kinder, gentler God, somewhat akin to the jolly and portly fellow in the red suit. We wrap our seasonal theology neatly with a red bow. But what we have here are terrifying and fascinating dreams and apparitions, enough to make you lay down your work and follow your vision. That's what the shepherds did. They ran from that place in search of the strange, the holy. What the star was waiting for, to lay down our labors and follow a vision, a strange vision, a frightening glory, peculiar and unfamiliar fancies that we would risk losing the labors of our day for to a brilliant, crazed moment in the night? Could we hear the bizarre voices at all? Or are we too busy tending our sheep to see the hand of God in the strange turns of our lives? The shepherds ran, leaving their sheep, and the one they ran to would tell the fishermen to lay down their nets, to leave their fish, to run to be fishers of men and women and dreams. For a moment, follow the dream, the hope, despite your shaking. Receive the annual invitation. Face the awesome vision. Lay down your labors. Abandon all reason for now. once again, God is with us, and we can risk our daytime sensibilities for strange dreams and fearful fascinations. Run across the muddy, cold fields. And now we have It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Our second reading comes from Rebecca Parker. This is You Have to Know Your Body as the Home of God. You have to know your body as the home of God, and this is the purpose of Christmas. The rose blossoming in the wilderness is the unfolding of your pleasure as the fingers peel an orange and sweetness buds in the mouth. The bright star in the night sky is the sudden clarity of your instinct for joy. The birth cry in the night is your child falling into the dark and your arms holding her. The terror of Herod's murderous intent is your rage that would prefer death to change. The singing angel is your voice at church, not sure of the tune, but certain for a moment that there is glory. The animals breathing their warm breath in the fragile stable are your emotions, kneeling into the body of earth, at ease in the presence of God. Mary is you, God in your body. Joseph is you, sheltering God in the world. This is the key to the mystery. The Word became flesh. We are the dwelling place. And now, O come, Emmanuel. Each year, for hundreds of years, people have been gathering on this day to celebrate the birth of a child. We know how the story goes. As children, some of us may have played the part of one of the characters. And still, each year, we gather. We gather to remind ourselves of the story, of the possibility, of the good, of the promise of each life and each day. We sing the songs and tell the stories, and we tell our stories. We laugh and maybe cry, and we eat and sing and open presents and give thanks. At least, I hope that we will all find some way to do that sometime in the next few days. What I find wondrous every year during the holidays is that we continue to gather. In these days, as interest in religion and churches is waning more than any other time in our lived experiences, we gather. We want to know and remember and celebrate, and we want to do it together in a community of people that we love or perhaps hope to love. And as I have aged every year, I wait until Christmas night to fully exhale, believing that the miracle we've been waiting for has finally been brought into the world, waiting, sleeping quietly to be nurtured into all its possibility. Perhaps I have been at the bedside of enough people who have lost their children, even when they have been perfectly healthy before their births, or after a challenging one, to feel like it's not safe to let go too soon. I know the promise and I know how the story ends, but each year I wait until I can be sure. In this time when women and those with uteruses have less autonomy over our bodies than we've had in the last 50 years, including the blessed woman in Texas taking her case to the Supreme Court to have an abortion, when the average person pays more in taxes than the average millionaire or our most recent former president, when war between the state of Israel and Hamas is devastating communities and murdering the people without any regard for the miracles of their beings right in the place where a prophet was born 2,000 years ago, when we turn away our neighbors, refugees fleeing for their lives, when politics have become so divisive that they're tearing apart families, we gather to remember the story. When a family makes a long trek to pay their own taxes, when a woman is not believed about her own body nor cared for in her pregnancy or delivery, when people in need of a safe place to sleep are denied compassion, when people are fighting because of identity or faith or land claims or because the one in power said so or whatever else, when something evil seems to be on the horizon. We gather to remember that a miracle happened once, which means that it might yet happen again. We gather to remember in the most unlikely places, at the most unlikely of times, in the most unlikely of ways, but also in the ways that are all too common. A miracle unfolded in the mystery. For us now, time stops just as it did for the baby that was being born and for his parents. And in that time, in this time, we remember. We gather because although it has been 2,000 years, it's not always clear that we've made that much progress. The birth of this child and his life reminds us that there is so much yet to do, that we haven't accepted the invitation to become fishers of dreams or to choose a different way or to shelter God in the world or to know that every birth is a miracle, just as each and every person is a miracle. The miracle doesn't stop because we get older, just because we aren't babies, even if we forget that it's true. That we are the miracle, that we can bring peace, that we contain so many possibilities for goodness, that we are someone's hope beyond all hope. Each day is a new day. Each day there are new births. May we remember these blessings and do the next right, best, true thing as often as we can. We are the dwelling place. And now, joy to the world. In The Gift of Faith, Jean Harrison Newyer has written, in the lore of ancient China, there is a story of a philosopher who was asked, where is the road called hope? He replied, it does not exist, but as people move upon it, it comes into being. I invite you to continue moving forward on this path, this journey, this road called hope with me.
Hymn number 237 is our final piece of music today, the first Noel, 237.
After the chels. We hope that you found meaning in today's service. We close with these words from Martha Munson. We extinguish the chalice here that it might glow gently in our hearts. May it light your path as you leave this place. May it guide your way until we are together again. And now, the music, the first Noel.
Number 237 in the gray hymnal.
But no, I'm not sure of how many. All three. Three. All three.
See